You know, I got this email yesterday about the first criminal charges being filed over the BP oil spill. And at first I was kind of not excited per se, but at least I had a sense that maybe some kind of justice would be done, because we have seen the first arrests and charges in connection with that 2010 Deepwater Horizon spill in the Gulf of Mexico. The man arrested, charged, is 50-year-old Kurt Mix, a senior BP drilling engineer who allegedly destroyed hundreds of text messages sent to a supervisor saying that, you know what, we're not leaking 5,000 gallons a day, we're leaking 15,000 gallons a day. Okay? So, okay, I guess that's interesting. And I started looking into it. And Greg Palast, who's been a frequent guest on the show, well, not frequent, but he's been on the show 3 or 4 times. I don't want to mischaracterize it.
Right.
Greg Palast, who has been a guest on this program, wrote an article saying that really we should be ashamed about this, especially because what we're looking at here is we're missing the forest for the trees, so to speak, okay? And that this is really a scapegoat. Greg Palast describes it more as a scape kid, not even a scapegoat, because this is a nobody in the grand scheme of things. If Kurt Mix destroyed a couple text messages, meaning he deleted them, that means that certainly his supervisor knew about what was going on with the leak. And that means that certainly up the chain, people were aware. They were being told that the leak was worse than they initially released to the media, okay? So we really have to think about, if Kurt Mix is going to be the only one held accountable here, that means everyone up the chain, and let's assume it was only one rung up the ladder, right? Let's assume it was only the supervisor he texted, whose text he deleted here. That's still the supervisor. That's still someone above Mix who knew the same information, who has not been charged. Destruction of evidence is not nice, but concealment of evidence by people way above Mix's level is a much bigger concern. What if this is as far as it goes, and this is the only charge we see?
Well, what I'm thinking is this could just be
the beginning,
a beginning, a necessary beginning to going further up the chain. Because if he is found guilty of obstruction of justice and destroying this evidence, they somehow conclude that these texts
somebody
did
else
exist,
had it,
that they did get sent to someone, and once all of this is confirmed in court and he is convicted, then I think it's easier to move up that ladder. Because I mean, you can't just go for the bigwigs of BP right off the bat. I mean, seems insane.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes, Natan, they do go for the CEO. The CEO is the one who's brought in to testify. Sometimes it goes to the top person. I don't think there's any rule that says it has to start with Kurt Mix.
No, it doesn't have to. But to make it easier to prosecute the higher ups.
But Natan, do you think that makes it easier to then get to higher ups?
I mean, it can if there are whistleblowers from the guys at the bottom of the hierarchy. I mean, with the Mafia, it's a similar thing. You usually get the low-level guys, or if you do get a high-level guy, he's immediately replaced by someone else. But yeah, usually it's a low-level guy who gives up information about someone else. Usually the higher-ups protect themselves.
Maybe there's something to it.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm optimistic.
I'm not.
For once.
I have to say, I'm not at all optimistic. We'll see if we get more charges. We'll keep following it. Facebook.com/David Pakman Show. You can also get yourself a t-shirt or sweatshirt like the one Lewis is wearing, made from 100% recycled materials at davidpakman.com/gear. We'll be back after this with Lee Fong.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.